So we're at the BRR project in South Wales, and with Ravi. He's from London. He's bought this project for £62,000. It's a BRR project. I'm going to show you the project. Zach on the camera is going to show you the refurb, and then after that I'm going to show you Ravi's story, how he wants to really build a portfolio in South Wales. Let's go. So I'll do a quick run through on the refurb. Zach on the camera will do kind of the proper refurb breakdown. So we're going to do basically a brand new bathroom. Super quick feel for that. Dun, 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 dun. See, you're very professional. Now, the one big cost save on this is the kitchen. We're not doing much to it, apart from get rid of the appliances, maybe do the counters, and then do the flooring. But most of it isn't to do with the actual kitchen itself. But saying that, most of the work we're going to do is plastering, painting, flooring, lots of new windows as well. They're a big cost expense, which Zach will walk through as well. Yeah, let's keep it going. Also, internal doors, we're going to change all the internals. I'll let you talk about the front door, Zach, and all that kind of stuff. New flooring as well, guys, throughout, carpets, laminates. So the really cool thing about the property is currently a 2-bed, we're going to make it a 3-bed. So bought for £62,000. We actually expect the value of the property to be £125,000 at the back end, with a minimum rental gross of £750 per calendar month.
We're going to take a quick talk through with Rav, the owner of this property, and just go through the spec, what we're doing, and pretty much talk about that really. So just to start it off, this room you can see probably at some point was 2 bedrooms. We've got a doorway here leading into the landing. We're going to reinstate this and turn it back into a 3-bedroom property just to maximise on the rental income and everything. The main works in here, getting rid of all the dated Artex ceilings, reskimming throughout, new electrics, plumbing, so we've got the other radiators put back in this bedroom. And as Ryan said earlier, the biggest cost in this one's going to be the windows and doors. We've got all timber frame windows. These ones are smashed. So that's going to be the biggest uplift on this property. Some good cost savings that we have. We've got a relatively new boiler installed already. So very good cost saving on there. New flooring, new woodwork, electrics, and everything else. We've got the window fitters just arrived on time. That's perfect timing. This room's probably the most dated. You've got horrible wallpaper on the walls in here. These would definitely have to be changed because of regulations, not having them in the properties with the single glazed panes above windows, above the doorways going into a bedroom. And again, every single window in this property is all timber frame. So we're going to update that. My personal favourite is the laminate laid on top of carpet. That is really top-notch work. We'll make sure we do that on the renovation. And then moving downstairs, just the usual rental spec things, handrail for the regulations required there. Updating the electrics, make sure that's all compliant with your heat detectors, smoke detectors, and all new electrics. And yeah, front doors, this one definitely needs changing, and this one 100% is currently all bolted in place. So yeah, definitely new windows, new doors, massively needed on this one. Radiators, another good cost saving. We'll potentially just change the TRVs, make sure they're all modern, but most of the radiators, other than the ones that we're adding, are all absolutely perfect. Back to our favourite flooring, the favourite flooring, the carpet on laminate, or laminate on carpet, absolutely perfect. As Ryan's already touched on, plastering and that needed. We've got a few areas of damp, condensation and issues here around the window and reveals, so a few blown bits of plaster that we'll take back, treat, and make sure that's done correctly. All new woodwork and everything throughout. We're going for the rental spec again on this one, just to maximise value without massive costs on it. So what that means is we'll just go nice neutral carpets on your hard wearing, bleach washable, make sure that it's all perfect and easy to maintain for you. If it ever does need change in the future, nice and cheap and cheerful to take it up and replace it. Kitchen, Ryan's already touched on this one earlier, but I think one of the key things for us meeting Rav and meeting clients at the property is just to go through, brainstorm and think, right, how can we add a little bit of value without breaking the bank? This kitchen, absolutely perfectly fine for a rental property, but we've touched on previously whether or not we're going to change the gas appliances. Just one thing that you'll have to maintain and update and just get your checks on yearly. and the worktops.
Yeah.
So, what's your sort of thoughts on this?
Yeah,
one?
definitely. I think worktops is one of those things where it adds a lot of value and it's more aesthetic if we change. And then I
Yeah.
like your thought process around changing to electric, based on the ongoing cost of gas.
It's just the yearly checks on
Yeah.
it, and just
Safety as well with tenants.
that's the biggest thing. It's very easy with a gas appliance to accidentally leave it on.
Yeah.
It just mitigates against any of those potential issues or something in the future.
Yeah. No, I'm glad we spoke about that today.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And then, final little bit to touch on then, aside from the new back doors, is a nice little snug bathroom, but perfect size. You don't really need more than this. The one thing that we will be doing is just updating to a mixer shower, changing the sink and toilets, probably chuck a towel radiator in here as well. A nice modern bathroom, retile all this section here, shower screen, and I think we're probably going for black fixings on this one, just to
definitely.
elevate it a bit.
Yeah.
To give it a nice personal touch.
So just before we touch on Ravi's story and the whole reason this even exists, the actual rendering on the outside adds to the EPC a lot. So EPCs are really important for the energy efficiency of a property. This one is already a C rating in theory. So after it, we're hoping for a B rating, which is very unusual, I'll be honest with you. But it can also help lendability and obviously cost saving from electrics, which is cool. So anyway, how are you?
I'm good. I'm excited.
Yeah,
Excited
you can
to kick it
tell.
off. Yeah.
We always see the smiles at the start of the project, and
Yeah.
then as things goes on,
Yeah, let's see if the smile's still going to be there at the
and
end.
it's like tears coming out. I'm joking. But I got to say, obviously, let's jump on numbers.
Sure.
Let's jump on numbers. So obviously, bought 62 grey.
Yeah.
I think we're looking at a refurb about 33.5-ish,
Yeah,
give or
around that.
take, depending on the additions.
Yeah.
GDV, so that's the actual value of the property wants to renovate. Do we expect to be about £125,000?
Yeah.
So obviously, from a refinance point of view, to pull the money back out, are you happy? How
Yeah,
you
very
looking?
happy. If the numbers stack up, that's pretty high return on investment and
Yes.
little money left in the deal, which is
Love
nice. And then obviously you just want to recycle the cash and then do it again.
Love it. And I think this one, if I'm not mistaken, comes up to about 21% return on investment.
Around that. Yeah.
And obviously that equates the actual return by actually recycling the capital plus the rental income the first year as well.
Yeah.
So it's like those two accumulate. Because I think if you make about £300 net, for example, per month off this one, which I think is realistic, add those two together. If you're getting 20% anywhere,
Yeah.
most people are happy, right?
100%,
So yeah.
100%.
But what's your long-term goal? Let's jump into that.
Long-term goal, definitely. This is for me a case study to prove that this is a strategy which works and the area that I want to invest in. But long-term goal is definitely to build a portfolio here.
Yes.
I've got a property in Liverpool, but having come across your videos on YouTube, I was like, let me explore the South Wales region.
Yes.
And then, I mean, the barrier to entry is pretty low, high yields, and obviously a reliable team like yourselves. For me, it was a no-brainer. So for me, long-term goal is definitely build a portfolio, work with you guys more, and scale it.
Nice. And feed into a bit kind of like what your, like the funding and all that kind of stuff from kind of raising the capital and all that. What's your picture with that? Because obviously you live in London.
Yeah.
You have a very, very good network, let's say. How's that going to feed into all this?
Yeah, so work in finance, so work in London, normal 9 to 5. But I think with my network and with individuals that I know who are interested in property, they are cash rich but time poor.
Yes.
So for me, this is a case study to them, bring to them and say, hey, look, don't worry, I can take your money, give you a return on your money that you're not going to get in the bank while you're earning what it's now 2.5%, 3%, and give you a high return and use that money to deploy into property and make a greater return. So that's really the plan. Like use this as a case study and then try and raise external investor finance, and that's how I look to scale really.
Have you thought about in terms of like what's, because it's raising capital, there's either doing fixed returns or there's joint ventures. Are you looking to get into business with people with joint ventures who have sufficient capital, or is this a case of people just want fixed returns? Like, have you thought about that bit yet?
Yeah, I would take your steer. I think I'd leaning more towards sort of just giving them a fixed return because selfishly, I want to build my portfolio as well. So I'd like to own the asset. And also some people don't want to own property.
Yes.
Because there's headache with managing tenants and like fixing things and so on. So I think if I can give an investor a fixed return and they're happy and I'm happy in terms of building my portfolio, then it's a win-win.
No, I completely agree, man. And I got to say, people really underestimate the power of the fixed returns because,
Yeah.
like, not everyone wants a portfolio, guys. Like, yes, the returns are good, but the returns are only good, just to be transparent about it, if you get the rental, if you get the appreciation, if those factors come in.
Yeah.
And the economy can change all that. Trump can change all that. I hate to say it. Like you have to be aware of what you're getting yourself into for your exit.
Definitely.
And some people just want to get a very healthy return on their money of X amount.
Yeah.
And they build from there, right? So,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly that. Yeah. So yeah, no, this is a good first project, and excited to kick it off with you.
And this is the first time we've met, right?
First time we met, I've seen you all over Instagram, Italy and Spain, and
Yeah, literally. I got a tough life, guys.
Yeah.
Just been around Europe for the past.
No, the first time we met, but obviously we've spoken a lot previously.
Yes.
Also spoken to the build team as well. So like everyone's got a clear plan of action, which is really nice, especially given that I'm not local. So a 2-hour trip is not too far, but it's also nice to know that I can just trust you guys to get the job done. That's really important.
I think to me it's the perfect leverage because you're leveraging the lenders to build a portfolio, you're leveraging us to build that, to get that position anyway.
Yeah.
And it's genuinely having a trusted team to do it.
100%.
You know,
That's like,
and this is going to be, and what I will say, guys, check the channel in 2 months' time and in 4 months' time, where we'll do a mid-refurb and post-refurb video with Ravi as well. I'll come down and do basically the post-refurb video, and you'll see the spec of it and how we're going to scale this for Ravi over the next 10, 20 years.
Yeah.
You'll see the product, literally. So definitely keep an eye on the channel for that and subscribe.